I had done 5 nights with Gustavo Dudamel at the Disney Hall in Los Angeles, and I had not attempted to do Broadway, rather Shakespeare, or be on stage for, it'd been many years. So I came to New York thinking I'd had a wonderful time, and I thought, well, maybe I should meet with some producers and talk about what I could do. And it was Susan Bristow who said, well, what have you been doing and what prompted you to want to do theatre? And I said, I just did these 5 nights with Gustavo Dudamel. And she said, well, we've been trying to do it for like 5 years. Would you consider playing Romeo in full? And I was honestly skeptical at the idea of, it was my first time with Shakespeare really since drama school. I hadn't really tackled a leading role in Shakespeare, and it was my Broadway debut. So there were a lot of firsts, but I was also, you know, kind of excited by the challenge and by the possibility, and it lived up to all my hopes and expectations. Well, of course, with a film director and with a film, you have a director and an editor, and the movie is really made in the editing room after we've spent, you know, months, sometimes years shooting it. Whereas on stage, the director, you know, and you work in collaboration on bringing a performance to the stage, and then you really own that role, you really own that performance, and it develops and grows. That's what we hope anyway, over the course of the run, and you learn and grow with that. And I had all of that for my first experience, and I felt, you know, very lucky to be playing Romeo on Broadway. You know, I mean, it's sort of every actor's dream to play Romeo, let alone on Broadway. You know, and I had never thought that would be on my cards, but it's been amazing. Oh, I'm just like Romeo. Me and him are a spit, actually. That's why it was so easy for me to do. Look, I was 36 when I started rehearsal. Romeo is obviously, you know, a teenager, or in his early 20s, depending on what you read and who you know and how you look at it. He's passionate. He's a lover. He's romantic. He's virile. He's desperate and fearless. You know. And all of those qualities I you know, ran to embrace. You know, I don't know if I could say how like him I am. You know, I guess there are parts of me that are, you know, like to think I'm a bit like Romeo, but I certainly enjoyed stepping into his skin for that period. It was a real gift. I'd love to do more Shakespeare. But I'd also like to do some contemporary work, and I'd also love to come back to Broadway and do something completely different, or off Broadway, but something, you know, completely different. So I'm not by any means, you know, blinkered to anything really. It was a really rewarding and, you know, a fantastic experience. I mean, David is obviously a very accomplished and talented and very intelligent director. And his approach to the text was really great and impeccable and helpful for me as an actor to hold on to. He kind of kept me on point with the language, which was really great, because obviously the language is so specific and the verse is so specific, and that acts as a giant safety net if you adhere to it. Condola is a sweetheart and could not have been nicer to work with. You know, obviously she's worked on Broadway and been very successful on Broadway, and I think she just embraced the opportunity as well. And she's not one of those actresses. Well, how do I put this? She's just heart open. You know, she's a very open and generous actor. So I felt very lucky to be working opposite Condola.